Believe me, you'd think I was lying. Joy and sorrow never last. I'll die trying not to live in the past. If you knew my story, my heaven and my hell, if you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell. I left my clothes on that cold river rock, my cares and my woes rolled up in my socks. I lay down in that mountain stream and the icy water rushed over me. If you knew my story, my heaven and my hell, if you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell me. I'm not alone. Tell me I'm not alone. Many backs have broken from lesser weight. I know I was born to carry more than I can hold. Even though I stumble, even though I fall, you'll never see me crumble. You'll never see me crawl. If you knew my story, to the water from the well. If you knew my story, you'd have a good story to tell me. I'm not alone. Tell me I'm not alone. Even though I stumble, even though I fall, you'll never see me crumble. You'll never see me crawl. If you knew my story.
You'd have a good story to tell.
Well, look how you've grown, Daddy! Oh, it's so good to see you, son. You went to war all by yourself.
I had a little help.
Well, I salute you.
Can you salute us all?
Hi, Billy.
Look who I'm visiting with.
Margot, is that you? You've grown every which way.
I was just delivering the book your daddy ordered.
Now, Daddy, have you been reading again?
I have, son.
Daddy, I warned you about reading. That could make you smart.
Gotta keep up with you.
Mr. Kane, Billy's been sending me his stories from overseas, and I've got a stack of them all edited.
And I got published in Stars and Stripes.
Billy,
Did you get my latest?
I sure did. You can come by the bookstore and pick it up.
What would you think?
You don't have to know everything all at once.
Margot, that is so you. Mama inside, or are you making her plow again, Daddy?
Billy, I've got to get back.
It's going into her. And where's Mama? Mama! What is it, Daddy?
No way to write you, son. We had a visitor while you were away. Unwelcome as he was, he came on in one day. He sat down quietly at your mother's side. She tonight. She's gone. You know how much she loved you, son. She had no fear of death. She went on fleecily. She just closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep. She's gone. She's gone. You know how much she loved you, son. Let's walk on over there and play a rose on her grave. Why don't you pick a Floribunda rose, son? That was her favorite. Here she is, under the walnut tree.
Bought her a gravestone, Angel.
There was this lovely one in back of Julia Wolf's garage. She made me a nice deal on it, as a courtesy.
It's beautiful.
The owls are speaking tonight. I'll go hear what they have to say.
Mama, when I was in mud up to my knees, I thought it would be you mourning me. Not this way around. And I'm sorry that Daddy put an angel over your grave. You used to make fun of people for doing that. You said you'd rather let your deeds speak for your time on earth. Mama, thank you for the way you raised me. The way you spoke. Parlance around the house made me a curious lover of words. And you always pointed me toward the writers who use them well. Remember when you had me copy stories out of the Asheville Southern Journal? Just so I know what it feels like to write well. I made it back home, like you always said I would. And I never thought homecoming could be so cruel. You're my mama. And I place my hand here to touch you now and forever. She's gone.
She's gone. You know how much she loved you, son.
Over the bookstore. When you stopped working at the soda shop, I lost 3 pounds. Marco, would you like to go to the movies sometime?
I don't want you to spend your money on me.
Well, it'd be cheaper than buying all these books.
Hi, Billy.
Margo, sorry it took me a while to make it in.
I thought it might. How are things with Daddy?
He's doing better. It's strange. We both swear we can hear her call out to us sometimes.
How are you doing?
I started writing again. That brings me comfort. A thesaurus. Are you writing now?
No, Max just returned it. He thought it was a book about dinosaurs. Oh, and Billy, I read the story you sent me.
I've been wondering about that. What did you think?
Well, it started out great, but
Oh.
then it got better and better.
It did.
Billy, you've grown up, and so has your writing. Now, I caught a few typos, and I retyped it on Heavy Bond.
Thank you.
In fact, I retyped them all.
Thank you. Margot, I've been thinking, what if I submitted some of these stories to the Asheville Southern Journal?
Oh, Billy, yes! Yes! You were always so tentative about it. What made you decide that?
I'm ready for my life to begin. I'm ready for it all to start. My heart's about to bust. Don't lead the way. I must follow my own bright star.
Edna, we still have that special delivery stamp I've been saving. Oh, we sure do.
I'm not mailing them, Margot. I'm going to hand carry them to Asheville and sleep like a dog on their doorstep until I get published.
Good luck, Billy.
Many a long cold night I huddled down in the dark. I made a vow, if I ever made it out, I'd follow my own bright star. Bright star, keep shining for me, shine on and see me through. Bright star, keep shining for me, and one day I'll shine for you. Thank you.
For what it's worth, I'll miss you.
You never know what life will bring, only what you bring to life. Hopes and dreams and fine imaginings, they happen in their own good time. I've seen a weak man fight, I've seen a strong man cry. I have learned the brightest day can turn into the darkest night. Bright star, keep shining for me, shine on and see me shine. Bright star, keep shining for me, and one day I'll shine for you. There's always a song to sing, a melody in the dark. Lifts my spirits every time I hear it, comforts my aching heart. Bright star, keep shining for me, and see my through. Keep shining for me, I'm on my way. Bright star, keep shining for me, shine on. Bright star, keep shining for me, and one day I'll shine for you. Bright star, keep shining for me, shine on and see me through. Bright star, keep shining for me, and one day I'll shine for you. Hello, is this the Asheville Southern Journal?
Good question, because this sign is often wrong.
All fine, Daryl.
Someone wanted to submit some stories to your magazine.
Let me hand them to the nice man.
Then wave them goodbye.
Why wave them goodbye?
Because our editor, Miss Alice Murphy, is one of the keenest editors in America. The New Yorker magazine sent people down here to try and hire her away.
But she wants to stay right here in North Carolina.
That's good.
Not for young tadpoles like you.
She once made Ernest Hemingway cry. He lay right there, banged his fists on the floor and sobbed.
What?
He used the word there as a singular pronoun.
Look, I came all the way from Hayes Creek, and I gotta get back.
Aren't we busy?
Can I pick up my stories tomorrow?
Look, you think we're going to read them by tomorrow, if at all?
I'm sorry, but we don't even read young writers anymore without a whopping letter of recommendation.
Now, where did that door go? Oh, there it is.
Thomas Wolfe read them.
Thomas Wolfe.
He read them and wrote me back saying I had talent. I sent them to him last year.
can leave your stories here. I'm a great admirer of Thomas Wolfe.
Thank you. I will tell him you said that. You must be perfect.
I don't have to be, but I am.
I'll wait to hear from you. I'm William Kane.
Oh, I'm writing your name down. William.
Mr. Ames, hand me those stories. I'm going to read them.
Why?
Because he's a liar. And liars sometimes make very good storytellers. Now, what about the new submission?
Oh, yes, we have several. This one from Carl Sandburg.
Well, we should certainly look at that.
Tennessee Williams.
Very promising new writer, yes.
And one from Joseph Algonquin.
Another one, he's always terrible.
Miss Murphy, it's time you knew Joseph Algonquin is my pen name.
Well, maybe you've improved. I'll take a look at
Never mind.
Murphy, there's a dance at the Shiny Penny tonight.
it. And?
Those officers returning home keep asking about you.
When a female walks in that place, there isn't a head that doesn't swivel.
Nope, tonight I want to cozy up to a few unnecessary adverbs and then cut their heads off.
I've heard stories about you, Miss Murphy. You weren't always such a wallflower.
No, not always.
The whole world is rejoicing about the war being over.
And you should get out and celebrate too. Oh, come with us. Just this once.
Way back in the day, I would have gone with you. Way back in the day, you could not have kept me away. I was the life of the party. I was happy and carefree. Daddy ain't soon, full of love with everybody. He was next to me. We'd sing and we'd sway to every song together. Way back in the day, I could not wait to get away. Moonlight music from across the river, come playing through the night. Blues run barefoot through the sounds of summer to be with everyone. Way back in the day, you never would have had to ask me. Way back in the day, I'd be the first one to say, what are you waiting for? It's time outside the door. I won't take no for an answer. You're coming out with me. Now that's a sight the mayor's son with the slates rolled up preparing an ice box.
Well, if it isn't the little princess of Zebulon. Princess, what's the matter with repairing an icebox?
Jimmy Ray, the ice box has no moving parts. My brain could repair an ice box. There's ice in a box. I think you're just showing off your muscles.
Keep talking, Alice Murphy. I'm curious how your mind works.
Okay. You remind me of Adonis. You know who Adonis is?
I sure do. He's a Greek god.
Well, you remind me of him. In fact, you remind me of the myth of Adonis when he repaired the ice box.
You ever think you might be too smart for this town?
All the time.
What makes you so sure?
I entered an essay contest in Raleigh. First prize was $5 and I won it.
What was it about?
I wrote about how there should be a rebirth of Southern writers all writing about the Southern way.
That's how we can make our voices known.
I don't know how a group of judges from Raleigh could turn that down.
They couldn't. I took that $5 and I put it toward my college fund.
How much do you have in your college fund?
$5. Want a biscuit?
I wouldn't mind having a biscuit.
Your hands are dirty. You don't want to eat a dirty biscuit.
Well, you better feed it to me then.
Now you and I are thinking the exact same thought.
You got a little wildcat about you, Alice Murphy.
What's that, bud?
Hey there! F. Scott Fitzgerald, he's a new writer.
I know who he is. The beautiful and Diane. Is that us, Junior Ray?
Yeah, if I know, but you're sure beautiful. I finished it, you can keep it.
My daddy sees the title, he'll kill me.
Read it under the covers.
So you gonna take to the couple's day dance?
Oh, I don't know yet.
Well, I'm standing right here in front of you.
That's not proper, you asking me.
I read in a book that sometimes you have to plant an idea in a boy's head.
Well, that might be a pretty smart book. You're a young girl, and wanna know better than to be here. What would everybody think? Oh, mom, better pack up slowly, make quick and get hurried on home. Oh, mom, better race it go when your papa gets shot, let you run in off him. Hide in the shadows, walk out of trees, wait by your window, whisper, bless you when you sneeze. Someone will look at you just like this. Someone will ask you for a kiss. You're a smart girl, make a fool of somebody. I'm a smart guy, and I know that it won't be me.
We'll see.
Oh, mama, they said you look before you set your sights on me. I'm a restless small town boy with a heart as wild as a big city. Someone will take your hand just like so. Someone will never want to let you go. Someone will put you on a pedestal. Someone will tell you you're incredible.
I'm a young girl, and I wanna go dance. Wanna keep friends with the handsomest boy in town. Somebody better comb my hair and put a clean shirt on and pick me up at 8. Somebody better take me in bed, gonna have a lot of fun on my very first day. Someone will offer you a girl. Someone will offer you the time alone. Someone will wait as long as it takes for
You're a sweet girl, like a man around your pinky. On your feet, girl, keep going 'cause you won't be late. Somebody,
buzz around me like a fuzzy bumblebee.
whoa, go, so on. You're pretty as a daisy. Smell like a rose, making me crazy. But it won't be me.
Where you been? You should have been here helping in the kitchen. Where did you go? No daughter of mine, I don't worry me so.
You're the black sheep, a little lost lamb.
Should have raised you with a farmer hand.
Black sheep, a little lost lamb.
All you ever do is reprimand. Shame, shame, shame on you. There ain't no limit to the trouble you can brew.
Shame, shame, shame on me! You make a mockery of the family. You're a black sheep, a little lost lamb.
When you gonna love me just the way I pray that you will change your ways. I don't know why girl can't have fun around here.
Why on earth have you been so hard-headed since the day of your birth?
Why in the world don't you do us all a favor, be a good little girl?
You're the black sheep, a little lost lamb. Should've raised you with a firmer hand. Black sheep, a little lost lamb.
Always up to your shenanigans.
You gotta start pulling the line.
That's all I ever do around here is toe the line. You're saying do right, do right, do right, do right, pony. You're saying step in line, better mind you and I do right, pony. You're saying do right, do right, do right, do right, pony. What's right for me? It's bad for the family.
I swear I'm gonna have to rein you in.
You're saying do right, do right, do right, do right for me. You're saying do right for me. What's right for me?
It's bad for the family.
Alice, we need you to shell those peas. Why do I have to shell the peas small
The
enough?
Lord gave us those peas, Alice.
Why do you have to put them in cards?
Don't you ever question the Lord.
I am not questioning him. I'm just saying maybe some of my ideas are better.
Black sheep,
Little lost man,
should've raised you with the back of my hand. Black sheep,
little lost man.
should've raised you with the back of my hand.
Do right for me. Do right for me. Said I'm that I'm doing right for me. Do right for me. What's right for me? Is that for the family?
Jimmy Ray, you were supposed to be here a while ago. Thank you, ladies.
Sorry, Daddy, as I'm fixing it out Dale's icebox.
Can you believe my son? I'm trying to hand over an empire to this boy, and he's out fixing an icebox. What's that?
Application for college. I have been thinking about it.
4 years away from home and everything you need to learn, I'm teaching here within these walls? Your grandfather taught me, and I teach you. That chain must not be broken.
Well, Daddy, I understand, but I thought we discussed this.
Stanford, do I sense disinclination?
None of my business, ma'am.
There's a whole world outside Zebulon. I want to get to know it.
Who are you getting this from? Where's that book you were reading?
Oh, I gave it away.
Good. Let the jazz age infect someone else.
And the Weiss.
The Weisses. Charlotte, what about them?
They've got a beautiful daughter.
Well, a daughter with resources.
Stanford, what exactly isn't your business?
The Weisses are a family with produce trucks that drive across this state. And we are the second biggest purveyors of produce for 300 miles.
You want me to marry someone for a truck?
That's an equation they don't teach in college.
Where's the romance in that?
Romance?
I have no comment.
No comment. What do you think that was?
Just have lunch with her.
I couldn't do that. It's not the way I was raised.
Where did I go wrong?
Besides, I know their daughter. She's a dumbbell.
It doesn't have to be her. The Wilsons in Winston-Salem have a daughter and a very active horse farm.
I've met her. She is indistinguishable from the horses.
How about Ola Conklin, daughter of tobacco, and she plays the banjo. All right, I know.
Daddy, I couldn't carry on a conversation with any of
You
them.
don't have to carry on a conversation. You ever see me carry on a conversation with your mother?
It's not necessary.
And that is a tragedy.
Son, the way it works is the business is handed down and we marry conveniently in order to live well.
Don't break the chain, right, Daddy?
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do when a man's gotta do what he's got to. A well-bred wife with a silver spoon and knife will butter your bread twice as good as you do. I remember when I was your age, that's when I was settling down. Your mother and I were engaged, and I opened up a bank account.
You can't expect the future to be just like the past. You haven't got a clue, sir. Please try to understand.
When I stood tall side by side with your grandpa, there was just nothing at all we couldn't do.
With all due respect, I'm serving. Rush for me to step into your shoes.
You can't waste your time on foolish things when there's real work to be done. There won't be any stopping you and me when you do what I tell you, son. You have no idea what I would do to protect this dynasty.
The road beyond the river leads right back to this house. I won't be gone forever. Just let me go now.
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. When a man's gotta do what he's gotta do. When I stood tall side by side with your grandpa, there was just nothing at all we couldn't see. I can't understand why you can't comprehend what to do. Why can't I get through to you?
Daryl and I read your story.
Yes, I thought they were extraordinary.
Really extraordinary.
I'm sorry, I said that too fast. Extraordinary.
Don't mind Daryl. Can I get you a cup of coffee?
My nerves are jittery enough already.
Shot of vodka.
I don't drink.
Billy, if you want to be a writer, you have to drink alcohol and feel sorry for yourself. We'll meet you one night at the Shining Penny.
Going.
Well, Mr. Kane, it's very rare to have a young writer make it past our gatekeeper, Mr. Ames. Your Thomas Wolfe letter certainly helped. He wrote you last year.
Yes, overseas. Thomas was very kind to me.
Thomas Wolfe letters are extremely rare. Did you bring it? I'm dying to see it.
I did. I'm never far from it.
If I were you, I'd protect this letter. It could be very valuable one day.
Thank you, ma'am.
It is indeed valuable already since Thomas Wolfe died 7 years ago.
I missed that.
Obviously.
You can imagine how difficult it was to get that letter. Are you sure?
I'm as sure as he is. He's buried right here in Asheville.
Miss Murphy, I'm just doing what I have to. I never would have
Here
made
are
you
your
that
stories back, Mr. Kane.
Did you read them at all, Miss Murphy?
Like I said, here are your stories back. Except for this one, which I'm buying from you for $10.
But I thought you said...
I am not publishing it, but I'm investing in you. You have a flair, Mr. Kane. Not for the scourge of war, but for gentleness and tenderness. And also the well-timed lie. You write well.
Do you mean that, Miss Murphy?
I don't have time to hear no compliments I don't mean. But you will write better when you find your voice. You need to find the sweeping tale of pain and redemption in the people you know and in the people you meet.
$10! I'm rich!
You never know what life will bring. Only what you bring to life. Hopes and dreams and fine imaginations, they happen in their own good time. They happen in their own good time.
All right, Max, that'll be 52 cents out of $1. And here's your change. $5.75 and $1. Thank you. Oh, she's got it ready.
That did fit in at the waist, you slender thing. Every young woman deserves a new dress.
Oh, tomorrow I turn 21. I've known Billy Kane since I was 6, and it's time he sees me as the woman I am.
Good for you. Billy's back from Asheville today.
And he said he's coming over here with a surprise.
A present. Oh, something. He called me. There's a jewelry store in Asheville. Billy, I'm so happy for you.
Hello, Margot. The bookstore looks spick and span.
I just made room for a new magazine rack.
Well, that's appropriate.
Oh, how?
I've got something for
You
you.
said you did. I was wondering.
It's my new address
Oh,
in Asheville. I'm going to live there and right there.
are you sure? $10 from the Asheville Southern Journal.
Not published yet.
Oh, Billy, that's so exciting. A real adventure.
I can still send you my stories. Is that all right?
Of course. You're going to need someone to cash that check.
Are you kidding? I'm going to frame it.
If you frame it, you can't cash it.
Hello and goodbye. Will you miss me?
Like I missed trouble.
Did you ever think you might be selling a magazine with one of my stories in it?
Yes.
Ah, Margot. I could almost kiss you.
When you get to Asheville, write me if you will. Tell me how you're doing, how it's treating you.
care who sees me with you.
You don't care who sees you with anybody. I heard you had tea at the Magnolia House with Ola Conklin.
Daddy made me. He thinks we're still living in the old South.
Well, are we? This is Hicksville, Jimmy Ray, and we're the Hicks in the bill. So what's she like?
Who?
Ola Conklin.
She sneaked rum in her tea.
That's something to her credit.
Why are you favoring her? You should be jealous.
Not me. I gotta believe in myself, don't I?
Are you playing me like a fiddle, Alice Murphy?
I'm not playing.
Alice! Alice! Where is that girl?
I think she went down by the river.
She sure is down by the river a lot. She never takes a rod reef.
I think she's landing a fish anyway.
Alice! Alice!
Oh, it's Daddy. It's almost dark. I gotta get back.
What could be better than holding you close to me like this?
I'll be in trouble if I stay out late again.
10 more minutes in my arms won't do any harm.
What could be better than holding you close to me? I can't imagine improving this moment at all.
If I ask you for a kiss,
How could I resist?
if you said this was heaven, I would not disagree. That could be better than holding you close to me like this.
I dreamed of it every day since I turned 16.
Lightning strike me if I'm lying. You know that I need. Let me stay here forever. I don't want to go home. What could be better than holding you close to me like this? When there is music and dancing and stars up above. Lightning strike me if I'm lying. You know what I want.
It is definitely a malady that we see around here sometimes that affects young women. You're about 11 weeks pregnant.
Oh, Lord.
It's not the Lord that did it. That only happened once that I know of. You've been running around, Alice Murphy.
Don't call it running around. Love is not running around.
Does he love you?
Think he does.
Alice, when you tell him about this, you will know.
Dr. Norquist Zebulon has 1,000 eyes and one single tiny mind. How can trouble and happiness walk hand in hand?
They sometimes do.
What should I do now?
Come back in several weeks. I can handle this on account for a while. And don't worry, you can trust me with this news.
I hope you don't love her.
What is it, Daddy?
Jimmy Rain, are you the father of Alice Murphy's child?
It's conceivable.
Jimmy Rain, sometimes you are too eloquent.
She's gonna have a baby.
It appears she
I
is.
should go see her.
And what?
Tell her I love her.
But you don't mean that. Now, it might feel like you do, but you're young, Jimmy Rain.
I know those feelings, those misleading ones. I felt them before, but Alice, I see her, and it's different. She has special qualities.
Special qualities. Those special qualities exist in your imagination. And the last thing my son needs is a callow bride dragging a child around everywhere we do business. Let me take care of this.
Daddy, I will handle this myself. It's my right. It's my responsibility.
Oh, I can't wait to see your face. Oh, I can't wait to see your face. My baby, I can't wait to see you. My baby, I can't wait to see you. You're a sign from heaven. Our love was meant to be. To us you reveal that our love was meant to be. My baby, I can't wait to see you. My baby, I can't wait to see you.
You brought sin into our blissful Eden. My son was weak before
Have you ever stood up against society? Very few can withstand it.
There are ways to undo these things.
Undone.
That's a crime upon a crime. This baby would destroy Jimmy Ray's career. I thought you loved my son.
I do.
North Carolina doesn't abide illicit couples.
You don't want to go to a home for wayward girls. They're like prison.
I know a place several hours out of town. A cabin in the woods where you could stay until you figure out what to do. I've done it for others.
It sounds to me like you're being offered a sanctuary.
Alice, Jimmy Ray will ask you to marry him, but you must say no. He's still a boy. Now, if you wait just a year, he will be one of the leaders of Zebulon and eventually all of North Carolina.
If this were known, people around these parts wouldn't do business with it.
You do want to give this to Jimmy Ray.
Of course I do. Of course.
Well, then you must wait.
Wait, Alice Murphy, wait. Go to the cabin in the woods.
I'm gonna make you a sweater and dress you up so fine. And we'll always be together. I'll keep your hands in mine. If you're like your daddy, I am so strong and true. If you're like your daddy, all the girls will be chasing you. My baby, I can't wait to see you. Jimmy Ray,
Look at you. You look like you're standing in a moonbeam.
that's the way I feel.
I want to set things right. Marry me. Will you marry me, Alice Murphy?
Yes, Jimmy Ray, yes, yes, yes!
What? Why?
I need some time. All the people in this town are always looking at us sideways.
I don't care about that.
For so many reasons.
Crest offered a cabin. It's just for a short while where I won't be seen. It's the only thing that makes sense right now.
Why are you giving me trouble, Alice?
Don't you know I'm always gonna give you trouble?
What else?
Do you know you felt like a butterfly? Feel.
I can't wait to meet you and shake your little hand. If you're like your mama, you'll make me a happy man. I'm gonna make you a promise to love you for all time. I'm gonna make you a promise to keep your hand in mine. My baby, I can't wait to see you. My baby, I can't wait to see you.
Miss Murphy asked me to meet her here. Am I being sent home? It's been 12 weeks and I haven't published anything.
She's on her way.
That sounded ominous.
Daryl can make happy birthday sound ominous. Show him, Daryl.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Mr. Kane, your latest submission is a bit of a mess. What's going on?
I'm sorry, Miss Murphy. I sent it to Margot and haven't got them back yet, so I just turned it in. Frankly, I'm getting a little discouraged.
Well, don't get discouraged. Work on it with Daryl. He's a fine editor.
Why did my mouth just go dry? How about if I work with Lucy?
No, I should keep you out of harm's way.
Miss Murphy, what do you think of it?
What do I think of it?
Yes.
Well, first, you need to cut out 300 words.
300? Which 300?
The superfluous ones. You look shocked.
I always thought that was pronounced superfluous.
Open with the second paragraph, not the first. The action begins there.
What do I do with the first paragraph?
Turn it into a lullaby, because it put me to sleep.
Anything else?
You have to cut the word twixt.
Wait, what's the matter with twixt? You don't like twixt?
You speak tween.
What?
Because a man wrote this, not Tinkerbell. Second to last paragraph should be cut.
What? I cried when I wrote that.
Clearly, it's as purple as a baboon's butt.
Miss Murphy.
Well, it's true, and then there's this last sentence. It flows nicely, but I'm curious.
About?
Now, why? Why, Mr. Kane, would you end your essay with the word 99% of our readers will have to look up ... the longing of the human heart, and its search for propinquity?
I did that on purpose, Miss Murphy.
Why?
It's the only $5 word in the whole piece, and because of it, I get the impact of the ending twice. The reader lands on a striking word with an elegant cadence. Propinquity. Then the reader goes to the dictionary. The longing of the human heart and its search for closeness.
I tell you what, if you can sway Daryl, you can sway me.
So there's hope.
Well, let's put it this way. No one has ever swayed Daryl.
Bright star to shine for me, shine on the seas tonight. Bright star to shine for me, and one day I'll shine for you. I'm glad the shame is here in the woods and not in our house.
Quiet. You wake the baby with your ranting.
Thank God it's a boy. It was Eve who tempted Adam. Am I right, Alice? You bewitched him.
Mr. Murphy, ladies.
You came to see your grandson.
So, this is the child.
Beautiful.
Yes, fine looking.
We named him after his father, isn't that right, little James? Where's Jimmy Ray? He's been here every day cooing over his Molly.
He's on an errand to Durham.
On a Sunday?
Hmm.
Stanford, you come to see the baby?
I love children.
Now, this terrible and tragic situation must be salvaged.
Fortunately, there is a solution.
And I'm here to see that it is implemented. A legal and completely anonymous adoption.
What? No, that is not a solution.
A legal and completely anonymous adoption. That is the only solution.
I have the papers drawn up here.
Are you aware of this?
Someone.
And I have spoken with Jimmy Ray, and he agrees.
He agreed.
He certainly does.
I doubt that.
Didn't he, Stanford?
He sure did.
You are not of age. And only your father has to give consent. While the true father in this situation is decidedly unclear.
You watch the way you talk about our daughter.
Nobody's taking my baby.
You've got to be reasonable. Don't deny him a better way of life when he can grow up with pride. Folks will laugh and talk behind his back if you bring home a bastard child.
You can't take him. He's my baby. You can't take my baby boy. Daddy, don't you let him. Mama, don't let him. You can't take my baby boy.
Don't be foolish. Why would you want to do this? Don't you want what's best for him?
I know people, wealthy and agreeable, who would like to take him in.
You can't take him. No, don't take him. You can't take my baby boy. Daddy, don't you let him. Mama, don't let him. Please, please, don't let him go.
I will take the baby myself to the state agency in Raleigh.
They've already been
You
contacted.
can't!
I will sign it.
No, you're not!
I have to do what I think is right for our daughter. Don't be selfish. Let him go and help him leave behind a world of game. If he's ridiculed and they make fun of him in school, you only have yourself to blame. He's our grandson.
He's our only one. Can't take my baby boy.
be fooled, can't be blamed, can't be schooled, can't be made to follow rules they say he ought to. A man must provide for his family, pave the way for success. A man must provide for his family and ensure their happiness. I won't be duped, your mother is confused to imagine she could use my son. I won't let anybody stand in the way of the plans that I've made. Not anyone. A man must engage his backbone, stand up straight and strong. A man must engage his backbone and right when what has gone wrong. A man gotta do what a man gotta do, what a man gotta do, what he got to. All right, everybody stand out of the way of the plans I've made. Not even you. A man take his family, seal that blood all made. A man protect his family and preserve his good name.
7 for Raleigh, Charlotte at Chapel Hill. Number 7, Lord.
You doing okay, Alice?
First time away from home.
You always were too smart for this town, and Chapel Hill is a wonderful school. And you got a scholarship.
That came out of the blue. How's Daddy?
I know your father is a tender man. Right now he's searching scripture to justify what he did, but the Bible is not obliging. How's Jimmy Ray doing?
Mommy's gonna meet me in Raleigh as soon as I get settled. And we're gonna find our baby.
That would be a joyous day for all of us.
We're aching to hold him in our arms again. Lonely, broken, feeling lonely to my soul.
You got the power, you got the faith, you got the strength to go on. You got the light, you got the way, we're never all alone.
So long, sweet embraces, so long, summertime.
You got to fight, you got to say, I'm never gonna stay down. You got the night, you got the day.
I got the old dark cloud.
The sun is gonna shine again. The sun is gonna shine again. The sun is gonna shine again. The sun is gonna shine again.
Hey, Margot, I sure hope Billy gets published soon.
That's sweet of you.
It is, isn't it? Of course I'm lying!
Does Billy drag you? Oh yes, once a week. At first. Oh, Margot, you miss him, don't you? Long time. I've been waiting a long time. Long enough. You got the look, you got the feel, you got the face of true love. You got the charm, you got appeal. I've got to let him know. The sun is gonna shine again. The sun is gonna shine again. The sun is gonna shine again. The sun is gonna shine again.
Something tells me it'll be alright. Something tells me it's gonna be okay. Something tells me it'll be alright. Something tells me it's gonna be okay. Something tells me something should be alright. Something tells me it's gonna be okay. Something tells me
Shouldn't be drinking.
Something's got to calm my agitation.
Lie now.
Ah.
Here's your medicine.
There's no doubt about it. I'm turning yellow as a sunflower. Poison in my liver. They tell me it's a swift thing.
Maybe not.
Suitcase?
Where you headed?
Chapel Hill.
Overnight?
Maybe more, maybe a week or more.
Well, who's gonna take care of me?
I've arranged it.
You take care of me. Son takes care of father, same way the father took care of the son.
I'll be back.
What's in Chapel Hill? Business, I hope.
What do you think?
That girl? That almost ruined you? You stay away from her. Trouble once is trouble always.
She and I are bonded, and we have a child out there somewhere. Together, maybe we can find him, late fame.
Find him.
Why not? You'd be surprised what can be accomplished.
You will never find that child.
What do you mean?
You're still holding that suitcase, Jimmy, right? That's better. I took care of my son that night. I made everything right for you, so you could go into the world without encumbrance.
That adoption should have been my decision.
There was no adoption.
What are you talking about?
I cleansed you as sure as I was dipping you in baptismal waters.
Is this the liquor talking?
Nobody knew the man on that train. I got on in Ryan County. I was just a businessman passing through. Not with papers in a briefcase. Something better. Something better to relocate.
What? What did you have?
I had me a baby in a suitcase.
What do you mean? What did you do?
I walked toward the far end of the train. It was just me and the creature and the clatter of the tracks. And I stepped out between the cars.
No.
And as we passed over the river, I flung it high into the air.
I've heard of evil in the world, but you and I are flesh and blood. He was just a baby. He was my son.
I did it for you.
There goes our chance for happiness and all our hopes and dreams. I'll never get to see his face or know the boy he'd be. I can never go see her again, never look into her eyes again. I can never tell her why. How could she ever love me now? Ooh, heartache. How could she ever love me now? Heartbreaker, heartbreaker. Look at what you've done to me. You destroyed me. I can never go see her again. I could never hurt her with all this. I could never tell her lies. You may as well have murdered
walked in. Does he know this place sells intoxicating beverages?
I say he's lonely. Let's find out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, boy meets girl. This calls for a slow gin fizz.
It does?
It does.
I'll have one.
Have you had one before?
I've seen photos.
So, you lonely since you've been here?
Every evening I have a date with my typewriter.
That's not company. This is what a real person feels like. In case you forgot.
It does feel real.
There's more where that came from.
Don't drink them both, Lucy.
Here you are. What do you think?
It's sweet and tart at the same time.
Just like Lucy.
It's called a slow gin fizz, but you don't have to drink it slow.
You are a modern woman, Lucy.
A bit.
You want to be a writer?
Better than that. I want to be a censor.
Why a censor?
When I was 12, I gave my father a Raymond Chandler mystery novel. Well, I was watching him read. Suddenly, his face went the color of a rose, and he set the book face down and called for my mother, and took her into another part of the house and shut the door. I went over to the book to see what he had just read, and right there, in the middle of the page, was the word brassiere. I thought this must never happen again. So now, a few nights a week, I take a manuscript home, I fix myself a Manhattan, and I search for hidden erotic content. Would you like to do that with me sometime? Well, what? You got a girl back home?
Well, no. I don't know.
Well, don't bring her to Asheville.
Why not?
Because country girls flatten out under the city lights. Another round!
Really? You heard the lady?
Lady, please! No Friday night! All week long I'm up to my elbows working away on my 9 to 5. I'm not gonna waste away at home hitting the town every Friday night. Pour me another round, pour me another round. Pour me another round. Thank you, darling. Have you tried to rinse her a Greyhound? So many drinks was a little tight. I decided it's only right. I tried them all and what about it? Pour me another round, pour me another round. Pour me another round. Besides all that, I like a little buzz. In addition to that, I like a little high. I don't know anybody who doesn't like to feel good all the time. Pour me another round, pour me another round. Pour me another round. Pour me another round, pour me another round.
Muscadine wine make me feel so fine. Muscadine wine make me feel so fine. I like hard liquor, it gets me quicker. Oh yeah.
bonus of a soda with a little kick. How about a Coca-Cola with the extra added bonus of a soda with a little kick?
I was feeling lonesome and homesick, down, dejected, and dubious. I've discovered what does the trick. Bartender, give me some more of this. Call me
on my desk. He seems to think it's ready.
Ready?
We are publishing it next month.
You are?
We are.
Miss Murphy, would it be all right if I were to jump for joy?
You may.
One more time, yeah!
Miss Murphy!
Thank you, Daryl. Down, boy!
Ryan, you have a train to catch.
You're leaving?
I'm going to Raleigh for some long overdue personal business.
With a stop in Zebulon to see family. Here are your tickets.
Miss Murphy, that train runs right through Hayes Creek. We could meet there. I could show you around town. You could say hello to my daddy.
Well, I've done it for other riders. Mr. Ames, have Lucy put it on my itinerary.
Oh, she's going to be a little late. She's under the weather.
Is that in quotes?
Very. I'm afraid that's my fault. I went to the Shiny Penny last night, and Lucy and I had a bit of a flapdoodle.
You love to pull words out of your hat. I have the same habit.
I got that from my mother.
I got it from a desperate need for attention.
A little bit of that, too.
Have you started anything new?
I have, and I find I'm writing more and more about home.
Mr. Kane, it would be easier to get Lincoln off the face of Mount Rushmore than to get home out of the heart of a Southern rider. I'll see you in Hayes Creek. And congratulations. Are these all the files from May 15th, 1924?
They are. The laws are changing this year. These records won't be open anymore. Would you like me to help you search again?
That would be so kind. The baby was wearing
I know, a blue sweater.
And maybe in one of the photos you'll be able to see.
Photos are in black and white, Miss Murphy. Maybe he wasn't dropped off in Raleigh. You should be trying some of the surrounding towns. Charlotte has an agency.
He was dropped off here. Kate, do you remember anybody else checking for a baby left here on the same date?
Not that I recall. Should there be?
I would think so.
I know this is hard to hear, but maybe he didn't care as much as you.
If there is truth in this world, he cared. Somehow he would have come looking.
It's only me behind this counter for the last 19 years.
Well, then that's a puzzle I should have sorted out before.
Leanne! Mary! Wait for Mama! I'll go on ahead. We'll just walk and meet you there.
The sun does shine in Raleigh.
Hello, Jimmy Ray.
Alice, young Alice.
Not so young.
Young forever in my memory.
This is your home. It's nice.
I worked hard over the years.
Are those your kids?
In a way, they're my sister's kids.
You married?
No, I never married. Close a couple times.
I guess I would have heard. I followed you.
Well, I know you never married. I paid attention. You did well in Asheville. Had some trips there. I looked up at your building. I never went in, no.
Well, why not?
Well, you moved on. You published Carson the Colors. You Dora Welty.
You have been paying attention.
I always paid attention to Alice. If I didn't, I knew I was in trouble.
We were so young.
We were. But I wonder often was old enough to have behaved differently. Better.
Yes. When I came to Raleigh today, it wasn't my intention to see you. I was at the Hall of Records with the same woman who's been there for 20 years, and I asked if anyone else had looked for the whereabouts of our child. She said not one. Not one person, not you.
I didn't, Alice.
And you never came to see me. Why?
Oh, Alice, is it better to hope or to know?
Oh, please.
After my father died, we discovered it was he who had funded your scholarship.
Why?
Get you out of town. Guilt.
Guilt.
Alice, on the train to Raleigh somewhere in the night, my father took our son and threw him off the train and into the river below.
We just closed. May I help you? Well,
Happy to see me?
for a writer, you're not very good at reading people. What are you doing here?
Margot, you're the first person I wanted to tell. I'm going to be published in the Asheville Southern Journal.
What?
That is some damn news.
What is it, Billy?
I think I'm seeing you in a new way.
What do you mean?
Margot, since I came back from the war, many things have changed in my life. And some things have remained constant. Family. This place. Hayes Creek. But one thing has been both constant and changing. And I wonder, how is that possible?
Anything's possible with people. What is it?
Us?
There's an us.
There is, if you want there to be.
I don't know. Just never thought of you that way.
We're supposed to be together. I know, I feel it way down deep in my soul. We're never meant to be apart. I keep you here inside my heart. I always have, always will, always, always, always will. I always have, always will, always, always, always will.
We're supposed to be together, it's true. I've had my doubts, but not about you.
We're never meant to be apart. I love you now, I have from the start. I always have, always will, always, always, always will. I always have, always will, always, always, always will. Margot, I have a confession to make. While I was in Asheville, I kissed a girl.
Oh, what was it like?
Have you ever kissed a chicken?
Yes.
How long's it been since I kissed you?
12 years, and that was on a dare. You ran like a rabbit.
Well, believe it or not, I'm shaking now like I was that day. We're never meant to be apart.
I love you now. I have from the start.
I always have, always will, always, always, always will. We always have, always will, always, always, always will.
Anybody home?
Well, child, just as promised.
We're almost the same age now.
Oh, I'm staying a bit ahead of you. I'm so happy to see you, darling. I didn't know if I was worth a visit anymore.
Daddy, how can you say that?
Through the years, reasonableness has laid its hand on my shoulder. The things I've done in the past don't quite stand up like they used to. Do you want a glass of water?
Do you have any of that hooch?
I do. How long can you stay?
One day, and then I'm stopping in Hayes Creek to visit the family of one of our young riders.
One day, darling. That's a short time to say a lot.
Mama here.
She's at the neighbors. She'll be back. But I'm glad to have you alone. I can talk to you, Mama, but not about certain things.
Sounds like you've been banking words, Daddy.
You got to around here. Them trees, some nights it's so quiet you can hear a leaf fall. And you can tell the color of that leaf just by the tiny, crisp crack it makes as it lights on the ground.
I know that feeling. Sometimes I hear the fiddlers in town, and I know they're playing the sound of the wind over the lakes back home. What kind of things can't you talk to Mama about?
Certainly not about things that occurred 23 years ago.
Nope. Not about things that occurred 23 years ago.
That had to be the most painful day of your life. It was, wasn't it, sweetheart?
Oh, Daddy.
It was.
Yes.
Well, if shame could ever equal pain, I will say I know how you feel. Because what I did that day made it the most shameful day of my life.
Thank you, Daddy.
I believe that was the last day my own daddy still had hold of me. How I felt after that helped me purge him from me. I don't ask for forgiveness.
Daddy, I forgive you.
No. Wow. I can't even forgive myself. I wonder what happened to the boy. Do you know, Alice?
I do, Daddy. He was adopted by a good family in California and raised with very much love. He's educated and successful. And he's a fine young man.
That's what I wished for him all along.
Well, maybe your wishes made it so. Come on.
The sun is gonna shine again. The sun is gonna shine again.
Your daddy know we're coming?
He sure does.
Hey, Daddy, it's Billy! And put your pants on. There's a lady present.
Let me get him on! Hello there, son! I still salute you!
Daddy, this is Miss Murphy.
I know all about you! We're standing on the wrong side of the porch.
You want a knee high?
Yes, thank you.
Miss Murphy, there's a barber shop in Hayes Creek with your magazine stacked on the settee. We're readers here.
Daddy will be published in it next issue.
I heard. Mary Lee would have been awfully pleased to know that.
Mary Lee.
That's my mother.
Oh, Billy, you've got clothes here, you know that? Good pants and some shirts. You ought to take them on over to your new
I
place.
could use them, Daddy.
There must be some wonderful stories about your wife, Mr. Kane. Maybe Billy should write about her.
Oh, I don't think so. Better to pick from the whole town with our array of cats and scoundrels.
Look at this. My old mail order plaid. Still good. And my old fishing vest.
Let me get you something to put them in. Miss Murphy?
How do you like it here?
Oh, it's lovely, Billy. Reminds me of Zebulon in some ways. You must find wonderful repose here, Mr. Kane?
I do.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kane. Your wife must have died young. Lily's only 23.
Mary Lee died last year at 65. She had Billy late in life. That's a rarity in these parts, where everyone's bearing kids to run off before they get up too fast. Oh, Billy, there's a box full of your things in the
I
shed.
don't want to take up Miss Murphy's time with that, but look what I found. A good pair of boots and my old baby sweater. I'm going to show this to Margot. What is it?
I know this sweater. I know this suitcase.
How?
My life was born away from me in it.
You say you've seen this sweater before?
I made it.
I knew this day would come.
It's you who has the story, isn't it, Mr. Kane? It's you.
What are you two talking about, Danny?
Lily, one evening, I was out frog gigging. I went a little farther downriver than I usually go. Now, where are you, fat ones? Me and Mary Lee's gonna have you for dinner. There you are, Mr. Toad. You made me lose Mr. Ichabod Pig Toad! Oh, I hear ya. Over there. Somebody there? Anybody there? Good Lord! Little Moses! Little Moses and the Russians! Oh, my Lord! Bangs and bruises! You're in a heap of trouble, little... Bella? Come on! We gotta get you fixed up! You came from the sky! It's the Lord's will we raise you. You came from that train, and somebody didn't want you.
So familiar. I could feel you when you came through the door. So peculiar. Like I knew you somewhere before. Your eyes She got a notice from the post office that there's a special delivery letter.
Well, if they can send a notice, why can't they send a letter?
She went over there with Jimmy Ray to pick it up.
She's pretty cozy with Jimmy Ray.
He's attractive, don't you think?
Lucy, I don't know how to judge if a man's attractive.
Yes, you do.
Next line.
Terrible, this is the funniest thing I've ever read. We have got to run this in our humor column right away.
What is it?
It's a hilarious piece by a writer I've never even heard of. Lillian Jones.
Lillian Jones? Congratulations, Daryl.
Lillian Jones is my new pen name.
Good for you! Miss Murphy, you have been on a tear lately.
You have, Miss Murphy. May I be frank?
Well, it'll take a while to get used to calling you that, but sure.
What's come over you? You really missed the dark layer of gloom.
Everyone's gonna find out sooner or later. Years ago, I had a child.
Daryl, you owe me $5.
Well, I found out he's alive and well and raised by another family, and he's a fine young man, and it turns out he works for me.
Oh my God! It's Daryl!
It's Billy.
Billy?
When was the last time you spoke to him?
The night he found out, a month now, and he hasn't written or called, but these things take time, don't you think?
I'm thinking of taking a trip just to lay eyes on him. I wouldn't know him if I saw him.
Hello?
Oh my God.
Hello, Billy Kane.
You are a handsome boy. You take after your father. And that would be me.
Honored to meet you, sir.
Lucy, shall we go look for that pencil box?
The missing pencil box? Yes.
Now, where's that pencil box?
Miss Murphy, I came to apologize.
You don't have to
I
apologize.
didn't. I was selfish. All I thought about was how I was hurt that night, but it was not just me, it was every one of us.
Oh, Billy.
So I went to the site of my real birth. A small cabin in the woods.
How did you find it?
Your father loves you very much. He led me to the cabin and told me the story of that awful night. How I was torn from your arms. And I understood that truth seeks us out and then walks beside us like a shadow. And one day it merges with us. Until it does, we are not truly whole.
Billy, you are no doubt your mother's son.
Lucy, I owe you an apology too. Perhaps I was a little misleading.
Oh, well, we can start fresh. Hello, everyone! I'm Margot. I'm Billy's fiancée.
Oh, Margot, you are?
You going to the wedding?
Well, of course I am. He's my son.
Not theirs. Ours.
Lucy put getting married on my calendar.